everyone, it's Grandma Sheri. I thought we could just chat again this week. So our concept this week is what we expect. What is our expectation? We have an expectation, and we're pretty sure what's coming next. With the election, with COVID, with all that's going on right now, it'd be very easy to believe that we know what's going to happen next. If the candidate you wanted got in office, you may have a very, an idea of how you think things is going to flow. And if your candidate didn't get in, you probably have an expectation too. And it may, in both cases, it may be positive or negative. But I really want to speak to our expectations and what we think we know, because we really don't know what's around the corner. We really don't know what's coming. And I'm going to turn to my ancestors again. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because they left us. And in my family in particular, and I'm sure this is true in other families, but they left a lot of good information. And so my great-great-great-grandfather, William, and his three brothers and his father, pretty sure his name was John, came to the United States in 1815 from Yorkshire, England. And their story at the beginning is really interesting and exciting to me. They had a difficult time in that voyage, and the entire trip across the Atlantic took 101 days. As they were out on the Atlantic, right, in some kind of wooden boat, right? This was 1815. They came upon a storm, and this water spout came up out of the water. Well, that's really a tornado. There's a tornado out in the ocean, and they had been stuck. They had, the story says they had been becalmed. The ship had got becalmed and into the Gulf Stream, which was the cause of their being out so long, and they were suffering because there was a lack of food and water by this time. So, here they are. They hardly have anything to eat. They hardly have any water. The story says that they had 1 gill of water that they were given each day for washing, for cooking, and for drinking. A lot of water. And I'm sure they had an expectation at that point. I'm sure after being out at sea for so long, being just in the doldrums and not moving anywhere, I'm sure their spirits had just sunk. And then they come across this storm, and they see this water spout that, I've never seen one out in the ocean, but I've certainly seen a tornado and the destructiveness, the damage. I'm sure there had been incredible fear of that. I'm sure they had to be so fearful of what that was. However, these were people of faith. William Hoyle and his family, they were Quakers, and Quakers wouldn't even call the days of the week by their names, or the days or the months of the year by their names, because most of those names came from, pagan mythological gods, whatever, and they would not even utter those names because they felt it gave homage to these gods, and they wouldn't give homage to anyone other than the one true God, the one that they served and believed in. And so I know they were people of faith. And so here they find themselves looking at this destructive water spout that could, destroy their boat. They have very little food, very little water. And I'm sure there were some expectations that said, we're going to die. This is it. We're not getting to the United States. We're not starting a new life. You know, I'm sure that was part of what they were thinking and feeling. Well, this memoir says that the ship's captain wasn't very proficient in his calling. However, he did have the sense of mind to shoot a cannon into this waterspout, according to the story. And it broke up the waterspout, and they were saved. And then also, because it was a part of a storm, you know, it brought rain. There was rain, and they were able to catch this fresh water. And so the fact that they had no water, and that they had very little water, you know, it came through this really destructive, possibly life-threatening way. When it started to rain, they caught everything they could. It says 4 men would work together, you know, with sheets and tarps, trying to catch the water into barrels and into buckets, and, you know, as much as they could. And on top of that, it rained fish. This is amazing to me. It makes sense, you know, there was fish that had gotten caught up into the water spout, you know, that once that broke up, they had to come back down, right? And so this potentially dangerous, potentially life-threatening circumstance brought them provision. It brought them provision. It brought them water. It brought them food. And they did get to the United States, and they did create a new life. And William Hoyle established some things in Illinois. You know, he and his brother, you know, began to establish some things in the community that he lived in. So I just want to tell that story. I want to remind you that whatever you think is coming is probably not going to be what you think it is. It'd be something unexpected. I'm sure they never expected fish to rain from the sky. I'm sure that was never one of their expectations. So we don't really know. If you're thinking the worst of things, that's probably not what's going to happen. You know, and if you're thinking the best of things, it'll probably even be different than what you expect. So I just wanted to share that in this Thanksgiving week, when many of us are not getting together with our families. We're choosing to, no, we're just going to stay home and be safe and be careful. And that's hard. That's hard. That's been a hard decision for us. We've really struggled with it. We don't want to introduce anything to our parents that could, you know, be dangerous or harmful. And at the same time, we so long to see our parents, right? We so long to be together with our sister and brother-in-law and nieces and nephews. And yet, you know, we just have to make a different decision this year. And so I know it's been a hard year. It's been a hard season. But I just want to encourage you to expect the unexpected, because if we just don't really know what's going to come. It doesn't matter what people have said. Oh, if this happens, this will happen. We really don't know. So I want to encourage you with that, because through this potentially dangerous, life-threatening circumstance, provision came that sustained them for the rest of their journey. So I believe that for myself, and I encourage you to believe that for you, that in this potentially dangerous and potentially life-threatening season, there is an unexpected outcome that I believe will be provision for the rest of our journeys. So I hope you're looking for it. I hope you can find a way to see it and are prepared when it comes. And I just hope that this legacy piece that I hold on to, like, I envision that boat when I'm really in a hard place. I envision the people, you know, praying or, you know, clutching each other for a feeling of safety. I envision that, and and it helps me as I try to move forward in a hard place. So I hope that this will help you. and that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You find all those grateful things, all those wonderful things that you're thankful for. I hope you have a long list. I hope you can really, really be in that thankful and grateful space, no matter what the circumstances are with the pandemic and with the politics. I hope you can find those places that you can say, I'm really grateful for this. I'm really grateful for that. For me, it's certainly all of you who are listening and who have said, hey, I want to hear what she has to say, have maybe liked or subscribed, and please continue to do so. I'm really excited to be able to share legacy pieces with you. I'm so grateful for family. I'm so grateful for legacy. I'm so grateful for the ability to create and do things and to share stories. So thank you for listening, and have a great, great Thanksgiving. All right. Thanks so much.